So with that, I would like to bring up our two presenters. I'm going to do a quick introduction and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Linda Barker. Where is Linda? Okay, great. So a little bit about Linda. Linda is the Director of Teaching and Learning with CEA, the Colorado Education Association. She's a nationally board certified teacher, former Montana State Teacher of the Year. When I talked with her, she said what she's most proud of, though, is that she is from a family of educators. Her two children are educators and are married to educators.
So guess what we talk about at family reunions?
Linda is viewed as kind of the expert on the 191 bill, and so she's going to be sharing a little bit later this afternoon, I believe, with us about how this work that we're doing really ties to the evaluation tool and really how to make sense of it and make sense to you as teachers. So we appreciate you being here today, and I think that you guys will all find that some of the things we've been talking about are going to make much better sense when we're done.
I want to just tell a little story about who else is in this room. Classroom teacher for 25 years, lots of EDE, lots of convocations. I can read body language. It's like, okay guys, come on. Here we go again. I can guarantee by the end of today, you're going to be thinking about, well, this is exciting. I actually think we can do this. And how do I talk to my colleagues differently? Dan mentioned spending a week in Phoenix. I was there with the team. So let me just tell you about how different the Colorado context is. That team was made up of teachers, educators, school board members, business, superintendents, everybody that touches the heart and mind of a student is brought together to really talk about how do we make a difference for kids. We have that same model in Colorado. Now when I meet with policymakers in the room, the last presentation I did it in a co-partner with a CASB attorney. Come on, you guys. Yeah!
Wow.
That's good. I love it. Like, wow, I told these tables, these are ones we're really going to pay attention to, so I hope they're all out. We're changing the culture of our work. For the Colorado Education Association to bring with me presenters from CASB and for administrators. That's how it should have always been. So why did we not keep that model? So today I'm going to put two people on the spot. All you have to do is stand up. So today I've invited a lot of my peeps to come to Durango. I have a lot of peeps across the state. So I want to introduce Teresa Pena. If Teresa would stand up. Teresa was a former school board member of the Denver Public Schools. And now she's working with the Colorado Children's Campaign to take everything Peg and I are going to talk about and how do you connect that to your community. So she's going to be talking with your school board members and parents, because if we are all on fire with this, but our parents are saying, WHHW 7910, what are my kids talking about? We want them to know. So they came today here, and then Heather Fox, it's from the Colorado Legacy Foundation. The Legacy has been a huge part of my dancing with the Integration District. So now all of us have blurry lines of what our roles are and how we work together. To me, that's exciting. So I don't want you to miss how powerful this day is. Believe me, both Peg and I travel a lot in the state and the nation. This is unique. To cancel school so that teachers, administrators, central office, community reps, a foundation, the association, and former SUPs can talk about what makes a difference for our students. This is a monumental day. I think Greg and I talked about that earlier. I think we haven't slept for like 2 weeks. It's part of the trip in Phoenix and then part coming here and part being excited. This is goosebumpy work. And then I really want to wave to the people in the back. Peg and I are educators, so don't worry, we will come back there. So we'll make sure you're infused in this. It is my pleasure to really segue from this to Peg. Peg and I go way back.
Not that far.
And that was just this week. We had an exciting trip just trying to get here yesterday with the airplane and rides and all of that stuff, but we're ecstatic. Because every once in a while you find partnerships or people that impact you, that push you and shove you, and create your thinking and put you in directions that you haven't thought about. And Peg and then Janet Toyton is the other third of our triangle that are doing the theory into practice. We email all the time. We send books to each other. We send quotes. Our two-day training, which, fingers crossed, we have been requested from the Gates Foundation to do our second iteration of that grant because they heard stories about how powerful it was from teachers and principals. So in our dream, we're going to bring that whole grant to this part of the state, hopefully starting in March. So cross your fingers and toes that we can actually impact this whole part of the state again and bring it right to this area of the state. But this really started, we have to tell the story, where Janet and Peg and I brainstormed a lot, trying a lot together. So there was a little drinking and eating going on, and this whole training came up on a napkin. Well, how would it look like, and what should we do, and what could it look like? So we truly took a napkin and drew out the content that Peg's going to present today, and then of course, Living 191 kept infusing 191 and said, then let's build the training. Let's build it so it's a week long, and we know if we build it, they will come. Then it was like the reality, all right, but if we build it for a week, how do we do that? How do we take teachers, administrators out of the classroom? Well, how do we use the best research around PD? Well, the best research says you don't bring people in and dump it into their heads in a week. We spread it out and gave them homework over that period where they went back to their classrooms. And that's where the 7, 9, 10, 1 really bubbled up. So my PLC with Peg and Janet has forced my thinking, has brought us to communities all over the state that are really ready, as Dan said, so how do we take what we're doing and make it real? So our goal today is to cover 7, 9, 10, 1, and you'll find out what that is. How do we really embed an effectiveness so tomorrow, when I go back to my classroom, you'll have new questions, new thoughts, new assessments, and a new push to think about your practice.